Business News now, and Stephen Carroll joins me in the studio. Hi, Stephen.
Hi, Belle.
And, of course, while Donald Trump is waiting to meet Xi Jinping, he might also be waiting some quite bad economic news.
The US president tweeted a video on Wednesday highlighting a host of recent job creation announcements, many of which, as it turns out, are unrelated to his administration. But this is ahead of employment figures due out this Friday, which are expected to show that jobs growth slowed down in March. Now, initial estimates are expecting the payrolls data to show 175,000 jobs were created in the United States last month compared to 235,000 in February. Perhaps Donald Trump doing a little bit of advanced PR in that case. Donald Trump also in focus for the markets today as well. Investors watching his meeting with Xi Jinping very closely. On the Asian markets, we had falls in Hong Kong, but some small gains on the Shanghai Composite. The big falls, though, were on the Nikkei in Tokyo, finishing the day down over 1%. Here in Europe, shares opening in the red as well. All sectors affected by those falls. London's FTSE 100, Paris and Frankfurt. That figure for London, I think, a little bit out of date. The London market starting the day in the red at the start of trading. ECB President Mario Draghi is currently speaking in Frankfurt. He's expected to say that the ECB policy at the moment is appropriate despite rising inflation. We've seen the euro fall back against the dollar as he started speaking there.
And some business news here in France. The country's biggest bank has made an interesting new purchase.
BNP Paribas has bought a banking startup that was initially designed to serve those who can't get a bank account. Compte Nickel uses prepaid debit cards and a network of tobacconists as branches. Anka Ula has the story.
Tobacco shops in France sell everything from cigarettes to newspapers to scratch-off lottery tickets. But for many, these one-stop shops have also become alternative banks.
My son is turning 12. He asked me to open an account for him, so I'm making him a card. It's very practical.
The French startup Compte Nickel began in 2012. It's a payment card, much like a debit card, that can be topped up multiple times. It was initially created for those who couldn't open a traditional bank account.
That was the principle at the start, for people who were rejected from traditional banks. But there are all kinds of clients, including parents who open accounts for their kids when they go abroad on vacation.
Account holders don't have to worry about overdrawing, and there is very low risk of identity theft. The card also has a low maintenance fee, only 20 euros per year, and is easy to set up. All you need is an ID card and a cell phone.
It's very quick. In 10 minutes, your account is open. You don't have to make an appointment with a bank. You don't have to find a bank that will accept you.
This alternative bank has seen its clients multiply over the years, from just 50,000 in 2014 to 500,000 this year. And now it's attracted France's top bank. BNP Paribas bought the startup in a move to diversify its services.
Big banks are telling themselves we need to follow, because if we don't do that, we're not moving in the right direction. We're going to lose ground.
The deal comes as cell phone provider Orange prepares to open its own mobile-only bank next month, further shaking up the European banking industry.
Some more of the day's business headlines for you now. Consumer goods group Unilever has unveiled a restructuring plan after Kraft Heinz dropped a takeover bid for the company. It's to buy back €5 billion worth of shares and sell off brands including Flora and I Can't Believe It's Not Butter. The firm will also boost dividends by 12% in an effort to shore up investor support. The company behind KFC and Pizza Hut in China has beat expectations by growing sales in the 3 months to the end of February. Yum China's sales rose by 1% over the period, raising hopes the company might be emerging from a 2-year slump caused by a food safety scare. Yum China's shares jumped by more than 10% in after-hours trading on Wall Street. And the French energy company EDF is to decide today on the future of France's oldest nuclear power plant in Fessenheim. Closing the site had been a major promise of outgoing President François Hollande. Unions are planning to protest at the board meeting in Paris, as up to 2,000 jobs could be affected by the closure.
And a last one from you, Stephen. The boss of Amazon is looking like he might also join this space race.
And joining it with a lot of money, Jeff Bezos says he's going to sell $1 billion a year of shares in the online retailer to fund his rocket company Blue Origin. The firm's aiming to launch 11-minute space rides starting next year. It had been hoping to start test flights this year, But Bezos says that will now probably not happen. Blue Origin is facing competition from the likes of SpaceX and Virgin Galactic in the space tourism race, but the Amazon founder says he's ready to spend what it takes.
I think it's very important that Blue Origin stand on its own feet and be a profitable, sustainable enterprise. That's how real progress gets made. I do not want Blue Origin to be a not-for-profit. I want Blue Origin to be a thriving enterprise and to help open the gateway to this new generation of people who will have this dynamic entrepreneurial explosion in space. That's what we're going to do, and that can only be done if it's sustaining. But it's a long road to get there, and I'm happy to invest in it.
Jeff Bezos, a man with a lot of money and a space ambition.
A lot of money, a lot of space ambition. He's up against a lot of other people with a lot of money who keep rolling the clock back on the time frame for this thing. Anyway, don't know if it's going to happen in the next 10 years. We'll be looking out for it. Stephen, thank you. Stephen with The Business. And we're